Hey guys, this is Crystal Alexis, your favorite co-host from RTNT. I am on site at Morrison Grove here in Lexington, North Carolina. We are on location for your next Bridgerton themed event. I am here with my other co-host, Christopher Brown. We are here to talk to the ladies from CherShan Productions who are putting together this event that will be taking place on March the 29th. So sit back and take a seat, and we were going to get to know Cheryl, Ann, and Shanta.
So, good evening, friends, fam, and folks at home. This is your other co host, Christopher, with RTNT, Real Talk No Tea, joined today with our special guests, Cheryl Lipstreu and Shanta.
Hello.
And so today we definitely want to introduce you all to Cheryl and Shanta, and we're going to talk about a very special event that we have coming up. We cannot wait to really just deep dive into this event because if you are not going to be there, you are going to miss out. But you're going to see all the hype about it. You're going to see the pictures, the videos, and everything. And we're going to know that the next time you do not want to miss out on it. So let us begin by introducing yourselves to the listeners and the watchers out there. So, Cheryl, who are you?
Who am I? I woke up asking myself, who am I today? Well, hello, world. I am Cheryl Lipstreu. I'm a professional artist. And Shantae and I have been very good friends. And about 15 years ago, we were having dinner at like Six and Vine. I think that was the restaurant. We were just hanging out together, and my body paint career had just really started taking off, and I was getting into the entertainment factor. And Shantae has always been an amazing chef and had a catering company. And 15 years ago, we decided we needed to start a business together and go into business with each other and have a production company. She could do the food, I can do the entertainment, and here we are. We have created CherShan Productions. Cher for Cheryl and Shan for Shantae.
Okay.
And we put it together, CherShan Productions, and now we are hosting our very first event.
Yes, that
We
is
are so
awesome.
excited.
And it just goes together. CherShan.
It's a nice little catchy way to say it.
Yes.
It is. Yes.
Okay, so Shantae, you are a chef. How long have you been whipping it up?
Well, I have been cooking for over 15 years. I started off inside of a hotel, and then I branched off maybe like 9 years ago, went full time with the catering. So that's pretty much all that I do right now is just from corporate events to weddings. As you can see, we're inside of one of the wedding venues that my kitchen is actually here.
Okay.
And so this is where we're hosting the event here also. So with only just food, we like do a lot of decor, centerpieces. We have a lot of inventory when it comes down to being able to like set up an event
Right.
and stuff. So, but yeah, I've been cooking for a long time.
long
And it
time.
really started off with where I just didn't start off just wanting to cook. I wanted to have my own product line. So that's where it basically started. I wanted to have my own product line and sell it in stores and grocery stores and stuff like that. But you know, when you tell God your plan, He has a whole nother one for you. So therefore, because I was thinking like, oh, if I just have stuff in grocery stores, I don't have to work.
Right.
That's what I thought about.
Just coming. Right.
Little did you know.
Little did I know I had to work more
Yeah.
than that. So
Well, what year was Twin City Catering born?
so Twin City Catering One was in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, and so, but before that, I had a catering company that I named after my children, which is called KMS Creations, and so it was named after them. But I changed that in 2018. Went to Twin City because I live in Winston, so. I was just thinking like, okay, if people wanted to research me,
Well, it's very popular.
the Twin City is popular when it comes
Yeah.
down to like the name,
Right.
so a lot of people get confused.
A lot of
sometimes,
people
but yeah.
recognize Twin City
Twin City.
Catering, and they're like, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that food is good."
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so you have
yeah.
built up quite the reputation.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have pretty much a lot of clients, and we do a lot of events. So any day that I don't have to do an event is I'm starting to take that as a blessing
Right.
to be able to like relax and do some normal stuff.
Right. Take some
Mom life.
time
Mom
off.
life, Netflix and chill,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay. Cool. So Cheryl, and
Yes.
body painting.
Yes.
Tell us the story of how that began.
Body painting for me began when I met another body painter. Her name is Madeline Greco. And in 2011, I had just moved back from California. I was living in California for a few years in 2010, and I came back home in 2011, and I was I had done a very rigorous classical training study, and I was doing plein air painting, which is like, have you ever seen artists set up easels outside and they're
Yeah.
like painting the beach?
Yeah.
And I'm a manifester. I was like, I just want to go to Hawaii and sit on the beach and paint and, be happy.
Right.
And who doesn't want to just go to Hawaii and painting on the beach? So that's what I did. So I
Okay.
just manifested. I had a little art sale and showed everything, and I had enough money to buy my tickets and everything. And then I came back home, and a mentor and a very good friend of mine was like, you need to go take this figure drawing class. And I was like, I just did 3 years of classical training drawing figure models. Why would I ever want to go take this figure drawing class and pay $10? So I'm like, I don't have $10. I'm not doing it.
Right.
And he was like, here's $10. Go take the class. So I was like, well, now I have to.
Right.
He gave me $10. And I guess I need to go. And that was the best decision that literally changed my life. It's like when you do one thing that just completely alters everything else.
Yeah.
The model for that figure drawing class, her name is Madeline Greco, and she and I became instant friends. So she's posing, we're all drawing, everybody's like yakety yakety, and Madeline and I just start talking, and it turns out she grew up on a horse farm, I grew up on a horse farm, she loves color, I love color. I'm like, you are my long lost soul sister. Where have you been all my life?
Right.
And then she pulls out her phone and shows me her body art. She's like, I do body painting. And I'd never heard of it before. I'm like, what is body painting? She showed me the pictures, and I didn't even think of myself as an artist. I only wanted to be a model. I was like, wait a minute. You've got to come paint me. And since you know horses, you've got to come to my parents' horse farm and paint me
Is that where I
and
saw
my
the
horse.
The horse.
That was Peanut.
Okay, I remember that.
He was my childhood horse. I used to ride him in 4-H and showed him. I grew up with him.
Yeah.
So I was riding Peanut since I was 9 years old, and he passed away when I was 34. So I've had this horse my entire life.
Right.
And I'm just a big animal person. I love animals. And so the day that she came to paint me, she was fairly new. This is 2011. She and her husband had introduced her to body painting, but I was her very first painting that she did by herself. It took her 8 hours to paint me with an assistant, which is a really, really long time to stand still for 8 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of ADD, so I'm like, yeah, or ADHD, whatever it
I wanna
is.
do that.
Yeah. And then it took her about an hour to paint the horse, and then we had a photo shoot. And I tell you, Christopher, you know what it feels like. You feel transformed. It's like my entire world, my spirit just opened up, and I was like, this art is the most magical art form I've ever experienced.
Yes.
I became living art.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how fun is that?
It's
That
the
is.
best feeling in the world.
It literally is the best feeling in the world. And so that was in 2011. And then I was addicted. I was hooked. I was like, you have to paint me every chance you can get. And in 2012, she and her husband actually chose me to be their model for a body painting competition that was held in South Korea. And so I got to go and travel to South Korea to them. Again, as a manifesting artist,
Yep.
I only had my little plein air paintings. I had an art show. I was like, if I can sell 12 paintings at $100 each, I can afford my plane ticket.
Right.
And that's exactly what I did.
Wow.
Little bitty oil paintings, and I sold them all, and I had just enough money to buy my plane ticket and pay for like my food while I was there. And then when we went and we competed, I came in second place. First time ever as a model.
Wow.
And I was like 32 or 34 at the time.
Yeah.
These other models are like 18, and I'm like, y'all, I
Yeah.
got some 34-year-old hips. You need to make that painting accentuated. Okay.
Help me.
But they did, and we rocked it. And I fell in love with painting. But when I was at the competition, I had realized I'm seeing all these other artists, and I'm like, I can paint just as good as that. I can paint I'm better than that. I can do that. I can do that. So it clicked in me. Not only do I want to be a body painting model, I want to just be an artist.
Right.
And so the next year, I saved up my money again, selling little paintings to try to get that next step. I remember I put in an order for all the paint. It was $2,000 for the body paint, because body paint's very expensive. It's like, it's high quality theatrical grade makeup. So it's like makeup for the movies, theaters, performances.
Yeah.
So that's the cost of the products. So I was like, you know what? I got a credit card. I'm going to do this. And I purchased my first set of paints, entered my first competition in 2013. I entered the amateur category because I'd never done it before.
Yeah.
Won first place and was solicited for the reality TV show. The next year I went to go film Skin Wars.
Wow.
My works went viral after 6 months. Everything, it was just like,
So it happened.
when you're on the right path, the
Right.
dots connecting themselves for you. And so I was like, okay, this body painting thing, this is working out for me.
It's working.
And then I love the feeling of being painted so much. And then what I found to be true at being an artist, you'll appreciate this, I love giving that feeling to other people. So when other people get painted and then they feel so good, so gorgeous, like your entire body's adorned in art, you almost become like more than yourself. Like almost like you're a demigod or something. You know, it's not to be sacrilegious or anything, but just to be like, you're more.
Right.
It's elevated. It's like you're in tune with your higher self.
Right.
So having that ability to give that as an artist just makes my soul happy. And I do everything that makes my soul happy,
Right,
from
as
good
you should.
food to good times,
everything.
to working with my friends.
As you should. As you should. So, what inspires the two of you on the day to day? What inspires you?
What inspires me is the outcome.
That's a good answer. The satisfaction,
The
right?
satisfaction.
When you see that look on someone eating your food and you're like, this is the best piece of cake I've ever eaten in my life. Like that feeling.
Yeah, and it makes it worth all of the stuff that people do not see. Like to stand up late at night, figuring, getting stuff together, packing up the van, unpacking whatever,
All the dishes.
Not sleeping, because it's a lot of times where I put on events that I may be up 24 hours, and what keeps me going is knowing that after that event, I can go to sleep. And so I'm like,
We like our sleep.
get me through this whole event, and then I can rest when it's over with. But then before it's over, then you get that the people that come to you and say how well of a job you did, and by that time you've been ready to cry because you're really tired,
Right.
But to know that you made someone else happy, that's like what keeps me going.
It like fills you up,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
fulfilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what inspires me pretty much.
And see, and Shanta, she hit on the right note, because that satisfaction of making other people happy. And Shanta, she and I have been friends for a long time, and I just know I'm the kind of roll up your sleeves kind of girl. Let's get the work done. I love to chip in and help, and she's the exact same way.
Right.
So when we had talked about going into business together, I'm like, I know Shantae's going to be the right person to get things done.
Right.
And when it gets hard, it gets tough, she's the roll up your sleeves kind of girl. She's not
Get in
going to
there,
just go leave me hanging,
Right.
So in choosing like a friend and a business partner, I think I've chosen the best in the world,
Yes.
because her food is amazing,
Yeah.
which you will find out.
And I cannot wait to
Yes.
find out again.
It's satisfaction for us,
Yes.
right?
And it's the same way I thought about with her, because I was just like, you can get any partner, but don't see your vision.
Right.
Right.
So I knew when we talked about it, I was like, she's going to see the vision. And then not only that, she's going to work just like I work. Because I work really hard. I feel like I work really hard when I'm doing something or doing an event. And so I've watched her over the years when she's doing her stuff. And I'm like, she's just as passionate, even though it's culinary arts and visual arts. They're different but the same,
Right.
And so I was just like, she's going to work just as hard as I would work, You know, and I feel like that we could, when people hear CherShan Productions, they know that they're going to come to something that's nice. And so I knew that working with her and partnering with her is that when anybody hear about CherShan Productions, like she can do what she's doing on her own, I can do what I'm doing on my own, but when CherShan Productions come together, that they know that it's worth the money, it's worth the time, it's worth everything.
It's going to be an
It's gonna be-
elevated
yeah.
experience.
Right.
Yeah.
And the pieces just fit together.
Fit
When
together,
the two of you come together.
It really does.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's all about following our passions.
Yeah.
Right.
It is.
You know,
Right.
her passion is food, my passion is art, and then together, like, we love following the passion to making CherShan Productions what we are.
Right.
So our first event,
Yes.
we're doing it.
And Bridgerton inspired.
Inspired by the hit TV show,
Netflix.
Right.
Netflix show
Yeah,
Bridgerton.
which we all love.
Yes.
Season 4 is coming out. Did you see? 2026.
Yes.
I cannot wait.
I cannot wait.
But it seems like we always have to wait for it to
Yeah,
come.
I think we just need to have a lot of Bridgerton parties in anticipation
Yes,
of it.
exactly.
That'll help us deal with the
Yeah.
waiting.
Right.
And before Bridgerton, when I used to see the previews, I'm like, I'm not watching that because it's just something about it
Yeah.
that makes you like
I don't think that I'd be interested in that.
But when you
Yeah.
watch that first season, you was like,
Hooked.
oh, wait a minute,
Yes.
this is good,
Right.
You know, so. But yeah, at the very beginning, I was like, I don't know about the costumes and the people wearing, you know, like it's just
Yeah.
the,
Now
the,
we love
yeah,
it.
Cannot wait to see what they do next.
now we want to get in the
Yes.
costume.
Because I remember when it first came out for me, I always loved era pieces and documentaries and things like that.
Yeah,
so
I
I was
love
like,
Me too.
I was like,
Yeah.
well, let me check this out. And it's one of those things you just binge
Right?
Yes.
and then you just next. Netflix says, are you still awake?
Yes.
Get out of the way.
Yes.
I am still here.
Yes, we like this.
Yes.
Yes.
And then you want to say, don't show this again.
Right.
But then you want them to ask you that in case you really fall asleep.
Exactly. Where did I leave off? Okay.
Yeah. Because I be wanting to hit that button. Do not show this again, please. And then I'll be like, wait a minute. If I fall asleep for real, then
Don't
I
do
gotta
that.
figure out.
Don't do
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
That is so
so.
true. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, ladies. So we want to know more about this Bridgerton event that's
Okay.
taking place. So tell us, what would we expect if we walk through the door?
Okay. So what is happening? We're calling it a Regency era spring ball because Bridgerton takes place during the Regency era, like Queen Charlotte era, that type. So think of the costumes. Like, what would you wear to Queen Charlotte's court? Like, if you were going to have dinner with the Queen, what are you gonna wear?
So
Right.
do you expect you expect the guests to
It is a
dress in the theme?
costume themed
Okay.
event. Yes. So
All right, y'all hear that?
we set the bar.
Yes, that's in the theme. We're also going to have a violinist as
Okay.
people enter into the doors. We're going to do like red carpet, step and repeats.
We're going to have an art show because what Shanta has not told you yet is that she's also a fabulous painter as well. And she has a collection of art. I, of course, have a collection of art. So we're going to have some art hanging that otherwise you would not be able to see.
Right.
You know, so it's going to be like a little silent auction of art. So it's going to be very elegant, very classy. Yeah, we'll have carriage rides because if you're going to Queen Charlotte's court, you got to have your carriage ride.
Yes.
A queen.
We have a queen. And the whole ambiance and the music, we're going to have, you know,
We have a
the
DJ.
DJ with the music.
Okay.
Bridgerton theme music. And it's just going to be a really nice
Oh, ballroom
event.
dancers.
We're gonna have the
we
ballroom
hired
dancers.
professional ballroom dancers.
So you can either join in with them or watch.
Just watch.
You know.
Okay.
And then the stilt walkers.
Yes.
I'm more excited about the stilt
The
walkers. I'm sorry.
entertainment.
The
Okay.
entertainment.
The entertainment.
Yeah,
sounds
the
awesome.
entertainment.
Yeah.
So And I'm just curious to see how long the dress is going to be on the still.
I can't wait
I
to
just can't
see
wait
the
to
still
see it.
water too.
Yeah.
She's a part of Headspin Entertainment LLC, and these are personal friends of mine. Through my body paint career, I have painted these girls, I don't know how many times. They're amazing, but they have started a company where they do fire spinning. They have aerial silks performance. They have the fire spinning performers, the stilt walker performers. It's just going to be fabulous. So
It really does sound like Charlotte's Ball with all the
Yes.
different entertainment.
And a lot of floral. It's just going to be beautiful.
we can't wait. And
Floral,
of course,
uplotted.
tea. We're going to have a tea
tea.
service. And I can't wait to see the food that Shanta creates.
Yes.
It'll be
Yes.
magical creations.
Yes.
Do you want to give us a sneak preview about what you're working on for the food or the menu?
Well, we are looking to do like more like kind of bites, but more presentation type food. So we're gonna do like a lot of like intricate like stuff that people can kind of grab and bites, but it's gonna be all about the taste, but also the presentation of the food.
So picture
So,
charcuterie boards.
charcuterie boards. And if you can look at my page, you'll see that I do some really nice charcuterie boards and stuff. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do like a lot of those like desserts and treats and stuff.
Like little tea cakes and things.
Tea cakes,
Nice.
finger sandwiches.
And
we're gonna
you're-
also have some hot stuff too.
Don't
yeah.
you do those Oreo cookies with like they're dipped in white chocolate and then she can screen print and print a
put-
picture
We're gonna have those as some takeaways and different things like that.
like little
too. So,
cameos.
Thanks for everyone. That sounds really nice.
Yes.
Yes, so
Yes.
don't you want to change your plans?
Yes, and then we're also gonna have like some shirts and T-shirts. People can also, purchase or stuff like that. So
Like a
we
little
don't-
merch table.
merch
A
table.
merch table. Okay.
So it's gonna be really nice. Yeah.
So tell us, I know that you guys were saying that if this goes really well, that there'll be additional plans to come in the future.
Right.
So we're just gonna go ahead and count it done.
Yeah.
That this
Yes.
goes really well. What is the future plans for this type of production that you guys are putting on?
Well, we would want to add more because we've had people that reached out to us about being vendors and stuff like that. We didn't, or having a vendors market kind of like what they would have in Bridgerton, where they walk around through.
Where they walk
and so
through.
we would like to add that.
Add vendors, but being
Vendors,
this is our first
one,
event, we're just like let's get this ball rolling.
Yeah.
But we want to do a winter ball as well as a spring ball because the costumes are going to be kind of hot. You know, if you're in a ball gown,
Yeah.
we don't want it in the summertime.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we do want to be able to incorporate some of the things that we've heard people ask about.
They've
this
asked for
time.
vendors.
They asked for vendors and stuff. And like we have a whole cabin part back there that could have. I mean, not a cabin, but like a yeah, kind of like a not a cabin, but
Like a gazebo.
no. It's a where people get married in, like a barn. We have a barn side kind of at the venue.
And you guys
that
could
we
use
can
that.
we can use that for like a good market.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, area or whatever. So we were thinking about that. And what was another thing we kind of thought about as far as
With CherShan
Adding.
Productions or just for the Bridgerton
no, just for the
ball?
Bridgerton ball, just to add.
I think just having more
Yeah,
events because
just
the
more.
response so far has been outstanding.
Yeah,
That's great.
It is.
It
It's
is.
very good. And we've been selling tickets and people are so excited. They're like emailing us like, I bought my dress. And, one of our sponsors that we're going to have is Bruce's Tuxedo in Lexington. So we're going to
Okay.
collaborate with them. So if
Yeah.
the men need like a silk satin tuxedo or something extra
Yeah.
fancy, they can get a certain percentage off a discount for being our customers there. And
Okay.
so
We'll make sure that we drop the name of the tuxedo shop and their information below, so you guys can check in on that information and make sure you have exactly what you need.
yeah.
yeah.
So
This is
tell
exciting.
us, this is very exciting. So tell us more. You said ticket sales are already open. Tell us about the ticket sales. If I'm looking for a ticket, where do I go?
So you go to Eventbrite, which will give you the link that you can put in it. But you go to Eventbrite and you can purchase your ticket through there.
And we'll share the link with you so you can put it for your followers to easily click on.
Absolutely. So check our page, guys, for the link, as well as we will drop it below, right
Yeah.
here.
Yay.
Sounds like an amazing event and production. I'm super excited to find out, I guess, from Kris about all of the different entertainment that's going to be here. Now, Cheryl Ann, tell us more specifically about our co-host Christopher
Yes, he
and
plays
the
a
role that
special
he'll
part.
be playing
Yes.
on that night of the event.
And you can't tell he's excited at all by his face. So part of the entertainment that I will be organizing is I'll be body painting 2 models that I have chosen specifically for this event to be my Daphne and Simon. And if you're fans of Bridgerton from the first season, Daphne and Simon were the one hot hit couple. So Christopher's my Simon. And he will be painted. We're gonna curl his gorgeous hair. We're just gonna have so much fun. I can't wait to see your nails.
So you guys
fully body
make
painted.
sure you tune in for updates and pictures of Kris, one of your favorite co-hosts. If you guys remember when Kris participated with Winston-Salem Fashion Week and he was a part of body painting, the body painting series, Cheryl Ann is the wonderful artist who painted him then. So flashback to that moment when we covered that. So we are familiar with the talents of Cheryl Ann and the collaborations of her and Kris when they meet up together. So very much excited to see what's going to be the outcome of that.
I'm excited too because it's like, how am I going to paint Bridgerton style, you know? And I'm just thinking, I've been doing a lot of research on the outfits and the dresses and everything. And to create a body paint design, it's just going to be a little bit challenging, but I'm up for it. I love the idea.
And I've been working on the wig for the queen.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah. So
Does it have rotating swans?
yeah, well, no, I'm not going to rotate this much, but I want to do some. But
You gotta
it's
have
going
swans
to
in
be
there.
Well, I will say that Bridgerton being the theme, I have been Queen Charlotte in a few shows for Studio B Designs where I was his Queen Charlotte. So my wig did have birds attached to the inside of the wig.
It's just
so
so you
it
could
was
fly
quite
away.
interesting.
yes.
The whole putting together of the outfit from head to toe being Queen Charlotte, but it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing and it was fun and it's been great over the last year or so that to see different designers and artists. I've been in a Bridgerton themed fashion show in Greensboro, so just to see different creatives, not just designers, different creatives in their take and their spin on Bridgerton. So it's been
It's so
amazing.
inspiring.
Yes, it's obvious. Yes, obviously.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing to our community out here, we've seen our designers and some of our favorite show producers put together their version of a Bridgerton ball or a Bridgerton themed show. And now we have these ladies, another extension of the creative community who are putting together their very own production and their version of it. So I think that's amazing. It's definitely unlocked the creativeness inside of multiple genres of art.
And that's something CherShan Productions we can do. We can host Bridgerton tea parties. Like if any of your viewers or something like they want to get together and have like a ladies luncheon or a church luncheon or something, and you want it to be Bridgerton themed but don't know how. We have the decor, we have the food, we have the music, we have everything to cover your event.
Okay, you guys hear that? So if anybody's interested out there in having their own Bridgerton themed event and you're not exactly sure where to start, contact these ladies. Again, we'll drop their information below so that you can give them your specifics and they can work on a production for you and have an event for you as well to have your own Bridgerton thing.
We would love
That
it.
is so awesome.
Will it be fun?
Yes, that is
Bridgerton
amazing.
birthday
I'm
parties?
excited.
It's like, I mean, what can we not do? I love it.
It sounds very exciting.
Come
Tell
and
us
support
where we
yes.
can find you, your social media contacts and things like that. How do we get in contact?
Okay, so Twin City Catering Co's, and I'm on Instagram. I am also on Facebook. It's Twin City Catering Co. But also on Facebook is Shanta Hauser Faison. Also, so you can do Facebook, Instagram. But, yeah.
And then Twin City Catering Co. at
my
gmail.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I also have the website, twincitycateringco.com. But yeah.
And if they're interested in finding me, I'm Cheryl Ann Lipstreu, CherylAnnLipstreu.com, and CherylAnn.Lipstreu@gmail.com if they want to reach out via email.
Yeah.
And we would just love for your viewers to come and participate and give us feedback on the event. You know, we're going to make more of them. We've had such amazing response. And with CherShan Productions, we want to do more things. And the Bridgerton is just an entryway, really.
Yeah,
it is so inspirational and so much fun.
That is amazing. So thank you, ladies. We want to thank you for your time. And for our viewers out there, again, if you're interested in attending this event, the tickets are already on sale on Eventbrite. The event itself is going to be on March the 29th. But sidebar, if you are interested in doing a Bridgerton theme event of your own and you need assistance, again, these ladies can assist you with that. They are getting their production company up off the ground and running. So if you're interested in other events and you're looking for a caterer, an event planner, you want to include the arts and things like that, these ladies already have their foot on the ground. So feel free to reach out to them and get them involved.
Yes.
Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.